Hey everyone, Anthony Fantano here, the internet's busiest music nerd, and it's time for a review of this new Grande Mahogany record, As Grande As. This is the debut full-length LP of Finnish producer, singer, songwriter, guitarist Grande Mahogany, who's really just getting out there at the moment. At the time of me shooting this video, from what I last saw, he is currently sitting at like 5,000 monthly Spotify listeners. What? Which just goes to show there's a lot of talent on the internet every day that's just going underappreciated, overlooked, and it's especially surprising in this case because I think this is genuinely something a lot of people would mess with, especially when you consider how much cultural capital there is out there today for psychedelic music, throwback stuff, be it Tame Impala or Lil Yachty or even the new Brittany Howard record, plus the growing swell of young black artists reminding us of rock and roll's black roots. And Grande Mahogany does all of this with this super raw and fuzzy chop suey of ideas borrowed from Jimi Hendrix, Sly and the Family Stone, Funkadelic. Even the opening interlude to this record is a tribute to the rhythms and vibes of Afrobeat legend Fela Kuti. But once you bust into the first full track of this thing, Bop Your Head, it's a total cross-section of different eras of music. You have guitar licks and vocals that sound like they're borrowed from a 60s or 70s psych funk rager, some modern DIY and lo-fi production techniques the indie heads will surely appreciate, and at the backbone of all of this you have these chunky, heavy drums and various pieces of the instrumental working on top of that in pieces, chops, and loops, which has a bit of a hip-hop assembly to it, especially as you're talking about some of these vocal snippets kind of getting thrown in there rhythmically like a DJ's cutting them in. Somehow the track is an acid trip and a trunk knocker at the same time. So it's an incredible marriage of all of these vibes, and it's additionally fed through this weirdo lens that I think fans of Yves Tumor or even Dean Blunt would appreciate. Following this, we have the track Angle of the Dangle, which is not my favorite tune here, as I feel like it's a little more pastiche, but it is legit menacing how unhinged the song is at points, with these wailing guitars and sunburnt, crunchy drums toward the end. The refrains of Angle of the Dangle, Angle of the Dangle, it's really something fit for the loony bin. Following this, the song THUNDERCURLS is a funky bit of psych pop, underscored by slick guitar leads, sci-fi synthesizers, plus a part B with some hand drum rhythms that bring back those Fela Kuti vibes once again. Then suddenly there's a spacey sax bridge that gets even more sparkly. The track is just a chameleon of vibes. Then the track The Rhythm goes full-on maggot brain with freaky falsetto harmonies, a fuzzy bass line, and untamed hard rock guitar solos that are so fuzzed out they might have Jack White drooling himself if he heard them. Next after this is the kind of meta and cheeky super rocker, which literally kicks off with this vocal snippet going on about drums and a bass machine as the drums and bass kind of initiate and pick up steam. And the guitar licks and breathy lead vocals are giving almost like a more blissful young Hendrix. I'm the super rocker! It's silly and swaggered at the same time. We have more stylistic and emotional variety deeper into the record with a little interlude, plus also the blissful Garden Symphony, which is one of the longer tracks here, slower, the pacing's a bit off, kind of drags, plus the directionless layers of guitar noodling don't exactly make for the best backdrop in the world, but I could see some people getting lost in it. However, the following Shades Ebony is one of my favorite tracks here, which has these cartoony funk grooves, conversational lead vocals too. It kind of feels like I'm watching a Schoolhouse Rock episode in the midst of a fever dream on Valentine's Day, given the lyrical content. Then in the final leg of the record, we get a bit of freaky intergalactic synth funk. It's kind of like George Clinton and Prince riding Space Mountain. It's not the strongest song on here, especially with how it kind of fades out toward the back end, but it is one of the strongest vibes on this thing, that's for sure. With a chill outro following this, we have a short but incredibly creative album altogether that sometimes does kind of get lost in the haze of some psych pastiche, some hypnagogic messiness, but the thing still passes with flying colors and still leaves Grande Mahogany with a lot of room to grow, which is why I'm feeling a light 8 on this album. Transition, have you given this record a listen? Did you love it? Did you hate it? What would you rate it? You're the best, you're the best. What should I review next? Hit the like if you like. Please subscribe and please don't cry. Hit the bell as well. Over here next to my head is another video you can check out. Hit that up or the link to subscribe to the channel. Anthony Fantano, Grande Mahogany, forever.